Recently, I discovered the term multipotentialite or scanner, and I have to say it's totally blown my mind. So in this video, I want to talk about what it means to be a multipotentialite and how to know if you are one and what to do if any of this resonates. If we haven't met yet, my name is Rachel. I'm a full-time copywriter and editor, and on this channel I talk about writing, creativity, and making money online. So if any of those topics are of interest to you, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so what does it mean to be a multi-potentialite? If you haven't heard the term before, there's a few different terms that more or less mean the same thing. So there's multi-potentialite, multi-passionate, scanner, generalist, Renaissance person, or polymath. And what it means is essentially that you're a person who has a lot of different interests. They can be totally unrelated. You might be pursuing a lot of different creative projects. You might start stuff a lot and not finish it. I am definitely guilty of that. You might struggle to know what your identity is, or what career path you should have. The other common trait is that you're just basically allergic to being bored, and you love learning new things. You love to dive deep into new subjects. You learn everything you want to know about it, and then something happens, you get bored. It just, doesn't hold its appeal anymore, and you drop it and you move on to the next thing. So this has been my whole experience in my 20s. I've tried lots of different things, some more successful than others, but just to give you a quick snapshot, I've done beauty therapy, I've done blogging, I started a course in creative writing, journalism, got into music for a while, got into filmmaking, did a whole degree in creative industries. I've worked as a gaming supervisor in hospitality. I have self-published a couple of books. I designed a day planner for teenage girls. I've done a lot of random stuff. And I haven't really stuck with much of it apart from copywriting. And even with copywriting, I'm starting to get bored. So that's what it means to be a multi-potentialite. But I didn't have a name for this. And so I went through my whole 20s being like, what the F is wrong with me? Why can't I stick to anything? I felt like a flake, like a failure. There was a lot of shame around this. And I would catch up with an old friend who I hadn't seen in a while, and, they would ask, oh, how's it going with the essential oils, for instance? And I'd be like, oh, I'm not actually doing anything with that anymore. Now I'm doing this, insert new passion here. So I used to feel quite embarrassed by that. I just felt like my goal was to have a successful career and, be known for something, be a specialist in something. But I just, haven't been able to stick to anything. So yeah, so where does that come from, that shame and stuff? It comes from society, basically, social conditioning. We are raised to believe that if we want to have a successful career, then we need to pick one thing, dive deep into it, become an expert, and, be known in one field. And I definitely bought into this. I took it literally, and I have been trying to stuff myself into, one of these career paths for a long time. And I honestly thought I had found it with copywriting. I thought, yep, finally I found it. This is my thing. And now I just really want to do more creative stuff, which is why this YouTube channel exists. And I want to get back into music, and I want to get back into filmmaking. So I was actually feeling really frustrated the other day because I had my to-do list of, the tasks I needed to get done, some for my clients, some for this YouTube channel, for instance. But all I wanted to do was explore an idea for a TV show Or, I really wanted to get back into, one of my goals is to get back into piano. So I was like, looking for keyboards online. And, I was really frustrated. I'm like, oh my God, like I've set this goal with this YouTube channel. I want to get this up and running. So why am I like drifting off again onto something else? So yeah, it's very frustrating to be a multi-potentialite if you don't know or have a word for what it is. That being said, what I have come to realize very recently actually is that my purpose is to not have a life purpose, as in I don't have a singular career path that I'm going to follow. I'm going to have many different interests, and it's up to me to figure out how I can turn that into a lucrative career that, brings me personal fulfillment and happiness. And so that brings me to the question. So what do you do if, okay, I'm a multi-potentialite, I'm a scanner, a multi-passionate person. How in the heck am I gonna, meet my income goals or have a career? Like, what do you do? So if you're in this position now, I would highly recommend you check out a couple of books. There's one by a lady called Barbara Sher, and it's called Refuse to Choose. And basically it dives a bit deeper into this whole, like she calls us scanners. So multi-potentialite, scanner, same thing essentially. And she has a lot of different tools and strategies depending on what kind of scanner you are. So there are scanners who are cyclical, which I think I am. So you dive headfirst into like a new creative pursuit or hobby or whatever your interest is, and then you drop it, you move on to something else, but then you might come back to that first thing that you started. So, and I think I identify with that. But like I haven't done anything with music for 5 years, haven't missed it at all. And now I'm like, oh, I think I've got like songs inside me. So I just want to explore that a bit. So yeah, that's one type of scanner. There's other types that are sort of more sequential. So you'll dive deep into an interest, and you might, even start a successful career with it. And you might go into that for like, years, 5 or 6 years or something, even 10 years. And then you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm done with that. I want to do something else. So they're more like a sequential scanner. So you're done, you go in, you dive deep for a few years, and then you move on to the next thing, but you don't necessarily come back to that first thing. There are lots of different types. So what Barbara does in her book is she sort of goes through each type and suggests career paths, like tools for time management and project management, and other strategies to help you get the most out of your particular type of brain. There's another book by Emily Wapnick, and I haven't read it yet, but I just had a look on the preview on Amazon. I'm definitely going to read that next. I think it's called How to Be Everything. So again, if you've got so many creative like interests or possible career paths that you want to follow, she sort of again gives strategies for how to figure out how you can sort of integrate all of your interests into a business, or find a career that makes use of all your different skill sets. So definitely check out those two books. I'll pop links to those in the description. So I think the biggest part of being a multi-potentialite or a scanner is just understanding that that is the way you are, and there's nothing wrong with you because you can't fit yourself into a certain career box. It's about letting go of the shame so that you can like fully unleash whatever is going on in your head, and see your projects through, and make whatever mark you want to make on the world. So I think self-acceptance is a big part of it, and reading these books has definitely helped to change my mindset about it, because I heard the term multi-passionate a few years ago. I think Marie Forleo did a few videos on it, and I related to it, but I sort of rejected it at the same time. I'm like, no, I know I'd have lots of different interests, but I'm sure I've got my one true calling. I'm gonna find it. And the thought of like not having one, it can can make you feel a bit unsettled. Like, oh, okay, so what is my life going to look like then? How am I going to keep a roof over my head if, you know, I don't have a life path, a calling career-wise? So yeah, these books have definitely helped to shift my mindset around that 100%. So yeah, that's all my thoughts at the moment. Again, as I said, this is pretty new to me, so I'm pretty fascinated. I want to do my scanner thing and dive into it. So maybe I'll do a follow-up video and have a go with, you know, implementing some of these strategies in the books and see if it works. Otherwise, I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. If you identify as multi-passionate or multi-potentialite as well, please let me know. There's got to be more of us out there somewhere. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.